welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna appease all of the ball python people that may be watching. As you guys know, I think ball pythons are great. I think they're the best starter snake that you can get. I wasn't super into them. Now my husband really wants to breed them, so we have a few of them. So today I am going to show you all of the ball pythons in my collection. Some of them are just pets, some of them we're gonna breed. And then I'm gonna talk about genetics of breeding ball pythons, since I've learned so much since he decided to start doing that. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a show and tell and then talk about some morphs. So you guys have seen this guy on my channel before. His name is Boops. He is my first ball python. He's just a regular normal ball python. He's the friendliest boy. I think he's absolutely gorgeous. Such a sweet guy. I love him so much. He's my favorite ball python. Always will be. We're hoping to breed him just because he has the best personality and he's, for a normal ball python, very beautiful. This next guy I just recently adopted and he's already one of my favorites, though I refuse to ever breed him. He is a spider morph ball python. I am against spider morphs. He's possibly pastel, which is why he's really light in color. He's so gorgeous. And we named him Eggnog. You also already know this guy from my channel. His name is Anthracite. He is a black pastel cinnamon. I learned that that is also called the 8-ball, and there's a whole complex about that, so he's pretty neat once he gets bigger. And we just picked this guy up. This is a highway, also known as a yellow belly gravel. He's such a baby, he's so cute. We named him I-35W South because that's kind of by where the reptile show was, and since he's a highway. This is Buttercup. This is my yellow belly possible blade female. I think I'm gonna pair her with my normal ball python since I think they'd make some gorgeous babies together. All right, you saw this guy in one of our show videos. We finally named him. His name is Mountain Dew. He is a albino Enchi het pied that we will breed one day once he's a nice big boy. I've also seen this one. This is Mountain Dew's future wife. We named her Toast Crunch, and she is a cinnamon Enchi het pied. This pretty lady is one of my females. Her name is Bijou because she's so pretty. She is an onyx, which is also known as a black pastel het red xanthic. So she should produce some very beautiful little babies. Or she's not wanting to show her beautiful face for the camera. This is Kingpin. He's my pinstripe ball python. Don't let his cute little size fool you. He is actually about 2 years old. He also came from a chain pet store. So I don't know if that plays into why he's so small. I feed all my snakes the appropriate size mice, so I don't know why this guy just never got big. He also has terrible shedding problems. I probably won't be breeding him just because I don't know his genetics, and also he's really tiny, so I wouldn't do that to him. All right, and this final girl is very gorgeous, but this is the only ball python that I know that really wants to eat me. So we're wearing gloves. Her name is Autumn, and she is a calico pastel. Just love the calico feature. We're still working with her a little bit to get her all tame. All right, for the rest of this, we're gonna be joined by Eggnog. Wow, these glasses do not work. These are my blue light glasses, so I don't ruin my eyes, but we're gonna take that off. So I'm gonna go through some of the morphs that my ball pythons have that I could potentially breed. Some of them I'm obviously not going to breed. Obviously the normal is normal. It's the wild type. It's what ball pythons look like in the wild. So calico is a dominant gene. It's also called bubblegum, sugar, or white-sided. Basically just causes that white cool speckling along the belly of the snake. Pinstripe is also a dominant gene, also known as the pin. It makes these fine little stripes, kind of like the spider, but not quite as intricate. So onyx is made of red xanthic, which is incomplete dominant. So some things are dominant and some things are incomplete dominant. So dominant genes produce visual effects even in the heterozygous form, whereas incomplete dominants, the homozygous and heterozygous forms can make different effects, and it can interact with different other incomplete dominant genes and make brand new things. So if you see a lot of these ball python morphs have like a couple incomplete dominant genes, they're probably playing off each other. They don't look exactly like they would if they were in the homozygous form. Or the heterozygous form by itself. Another word for this that reptile breeders use is codominant. Basically, incomplete dominant genes make a blended effect if they're put together. Onyx is incomplete dominant red xanthic and incomplete dominant black pastel. There's no other name for it. Spider, which is this guy, is a dominant gene, so it's going to happen if you have spider genes. It causes severe neurological issues, including stargazing and wobbling. This guy's not too bad. He does wobble sometimes. They normally have a head bob. Sometimes they kind of like flip upside down. They can't right themselves. It's really sad. You should really not breed these. There is a way to get rid of it, and it's by breeding spider ball pythons with blackhead ball pythons. But at that point, you're still using a spider ball python, and I just don't agree with it. So that is my stance on spider ball python. Yellow belly is an incomplete dominant gene. Blade is an incomplete dominant gene. Gravel is an incomplete dominant gene, and that's part of the highway. Pastel is an incomplete dominant gene. It's also known as the pastel jungle. Cinnamon is also incomplete dominant. So as you can see, there's a lot of incomplete dominant genes. Enchi is incomplete. Pied, also known as piebald, is recessive. That is one of the things we want to breed is piebalds because they're beautiful. Highway is incomplete dominant gravel and incomplete dominant yellow belly. And highway obviously makes those little lines along its back. So we want to breed a few of these to get some cool results. Our goal is to make some unique pythons. Obviously you gotta start with the basics. We could buy the really expensive ones right off the bat, but where's the fun in that? Okay, so we're gonna go over kind of how a ball python morph genetics works. We're gonna use my future breeders, Mountain Dew and Toast Crunch. Mountain Dew is my male, he's the beautiful yellow one, and then Toast Crunch is the cinnamon. So Mountain Dew is Enchi albino het piebald, and then Toast Crunch is cinnamon Enchi het piebald. What our goal is to get a piebald because they're just gorgeous. So this is how that works. We're going to make basically a Punnett square like you would do in school. So I assigned letters to each of these. Enchi is just a capital E. I give it an N next to it because we don't know what that is. That's just normal. That's just nothing. So N. Albino is recessive. So there's going to be 2 lowercase a's. Capital letters represent dominant genes while lowercase letters represent recessive genes. If it has both a capital and a lowercase, that means it's heterozygous for that gene. In this case, a capital P and a lowercase p means it's het for piebald. It's not showing the piebald, but it has the potential to give offspring that are piebald. Piebald is a recessive gene, so that's the lowercase p. So our goal is to get 2 lowercase p's. So the cinnamon Enchi is EC, since there are 2 incomplete dominant genes, so they kind of play off each other. They kind of make new things together. You don't have separate cinnamon and Enchi. You just have them together. So that's EC. It is not albino, so it has 2 capital A's, so dominant, not albino. And then the het piebald is a capital P and then a lowercase p, just like the other one. So in order to see what their offspring would look like, we have to combine them. So if we're going to start a Punnett square. If you look at these, we're going to basically combine each of those letters in those 3 little categories together to create a large Punnett square. So the Punnett square is going to have all of these different combinations in it. So the Enchi albino het piebald is going to have various eeps and naps, whereas the cinnamon Enchi het piebalds are going to be a bunch of caps and eeps. We'll see how this plays out in a second. So this is how it looks like on a Punnett square. When you combine every single letter of a single individual with the letters of the other individual, you get these crazy long genetic makeups. So a lot of yaps and siaps and snaps, and so what all that basically means is that when you combine these together, their genetics combine. And since we're looking for piebalds, I wanted to highlight all the piebalds. All piebalds will have the lowercase double p's, since they're a recessive gene. So if you look here, there's 16 of them. There are 64 possibilities that the babies could be. 16 out of the 64 is possibly piebald. To look for the future, if you want het piebald, so their children might be able to produce piebalds, you have a much larger scale. There's going to be 32 of them instead of 16. So what all that turns out, 25% are piebald, 25% are no piebald at all, and then half of them are going to be het piebald. What they're going to physically look like color-wise, it's actually a 25% each distribution. So 25% are going to be cinnamon Enchi, 25% are just going to be cinnamon, 25% are just going to be Enchi, and then 25% are going to be super Enchi, since they got 2 of the dominant E genes. And so when you look at what, let's say, Morph Market shows you, they do it pretty much the same way. So if you look, let's say CE, so cinnamon Enchi, if you combine 6 with 19, you get 25%, so you got the 25% of that color. And then when you combine all the piebalds, it winds up being about a quarter. So yeah, so a quarter of our babies should be piebald, and then we should have all these really cool colors to go with it. And then as you notice, there's gonna be no one with albino genes because there was no double recessive traits between the two parents. Only one of the parents had the recessive genes. Once they're all to the right weights and ages, we will be breeding them. Thanks for stopping by my channel. If you like what I like, if you like rocks and animals, stay tuned for more. And hopefully some baby ball python videos in our future. Thanks, like and subscribe. There we go, neurological issues. My dude. My dude. So all ball pythons are my pets. They are Matt's breeding project, so he's gonna be in charge of pairing all these guys. Why are you doing this, my sir? Thanks, have a great day. No, I think I missed one at the bottom, whoops. But when you count them out, it winds up being... What? How did I miss a bunch of them? Crap, one sec. So, since we're looking for piebalds, how did I miss one again? What the